Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we have a special guest, a guest that I'm really excited about. And it is none other than White Eyes. I couldn't do a drum roll, otherwise, drum roll, I cannot even pronounce things properly sometimes. Never mind me. So, White Eyes, yes. Why am I excited about him? Because heck yeah, he's been one of the best, most favorite artists that I've been meaning to talk to for such a long time. I just never thought I would actually get a chance to speak to him directly. And this feels like a dream come true. And it is, in a sense. The other dream would be to meet him directly, which, I don't know, the entire situation and the traveling and all of that. But again, all of that aside, I keep rambling, you know? You see my fangirl coming out when I'm talking about White Eyes. So, yeah, rambling aside, I have a special gift for you from Dan. And that gift is an unreleased song from his upcoming album. And to keep the surprise and to keep the suspense, I will not tell you exactly what track it is. I'll just give you the ID, the filler. This one song, it has made me abuse the repeat button so many times. And I'm not ashamed. I'm probably going to do it even more. So enjoy that, and we'll jump right into the conversation after that. And as usual, feel free to jump around using the timestamps. And with that said, let's jump in. See you on the other side. Bye. Hello.
Hey, yeah.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm really good, thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for being here.
No, it's no problem. Thank you for reaching out. I'm always happy to chat.
This has been one of my goals, let's say, to actually have you on here.
No, you're too kind, honestly. I still feel like I'm a nobody, but no, thank you.
So, would you like to start with something, or should I start with my questions?
You crack on with your questions.
Okay. I'll go back to the days when you were playing in the band.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people I think know that you played in the bands, but the thing about the change from that to the electronic music is, did you ever feel bad about not having the band work out and then you have to, let all of that go and then start solo?
The band crumbled, and that's why I got into electronic music. No, I was in a couple of bands, and I think it got to the point where my first band, where I was really passionate about it with a good friend, a drummer, that didn't go to plan. Like, we were due to play a battle of bands. He had to go move away up to a college, so that didn't happen. Fortunately, the singer and the bassist weren't that great in that band, so we moved on, did another project. I was mainly writing a lot of that stuff, and I think everybody else got fed up with me. The drummer dropped out.
Fed up of you? Did you do anything?
Not really. Like, I'm usually quite a quiet, reserved person, but when I was in a band, it was like, I've been writing this riff at home for like 3 weeks, and they were like, oh, well, can we change it and put this little thing? I'm like, no. So I think, they probably just got a bit fed up and everybody ended up leaving. There's no bad blood or anything. I still talk to some of the guys regularly. But yeah, I guess I'm difficult to work with in some bands like that. So yeah, no, I didn't feel bad about it because the bands had already broken up, basically.
So would you consider joining one if there's a chance in the future?
I would, but it would need to be like pop punk or something really easy because I've got so rusty at guitar. Like looking back at all the videos and stuff like the studio diaries, I had me like sweep picking and doing all these crazy things on guitar. I'm like, I can barely play Smoke on the Water anymore, or just really simple stuff like that. So yeah, no, I would like to. I would like to. After I got this album out of the way, I'm going to try and get some guitar stuff written. But yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Well, speaking about that, I think we need to see you playing guitar sometime. Is there anything like that?
Like I did do that little video diary of the album of me playing Slaughter, because that's like I think one of the only guitar tracks so far on the album.
Oh, when was
I don't know,
that?
there might be another one, but I did have to speed that up by about 20% because I only play the riff so fast. So yeah,
I don't think I've watched it.
no, my Facebook reach is dead, so everything just gets buried. But yeah, no, it is out there somewhere.
Okay, I'll look it up. So, okay, that happened, the transition. So, you were proficient at guitar, let's say. Then, how long did it take for you to actually get confident in your production skills as well? At least to a point where you felt comfortable releasing stuff.
I think it must have been my 17th birthday, and for a reference, I'm 31 in a couple of weeks. I got a MacBook so I could start recording my stuff at home. So I did, and was like, putting down really simple kick snare, drum loops with crazy death metal stuff over it. So, and at that time, I was still at like sixth form or college or whatever. And I was doing music technology as one of my A levels.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, but I dropped out. It was only AS, so I did photography, psychology, and product design for another year after that. But music tech I just dropped because it was all about getting into the studio and like how to record a band and like I totally funked that coursework. Like I was I think we got given like 2 months to do a project. I was like in the last week just imported in a tab file for doing something. But yeah, no, I totally flunked my A levels for music, and it wasn't interesting me at that time. Like I was much more about actually making the music rather than the theory of how to record it and everything else.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think some of the skills from that course may have been helpful in some way.
A little bit. Like that was the first time I worked with MIDI or anything, but yeah, no. So it must have been after like 2 or 3 years of like putting my track out, and I think SoundCloud was still in its infancy back then. Like I was still uploading to MySpace. So yeah, no, it was basically just here's SoundCloud. I'm not really fussed about what other people think of the music. Here's a clip or something. I was just throwing out any old crap. But yeah, no, it was yeah, it was a funny old transition because I think, like I said in the book, like it was more like I just started working around that point when I turned 18. It was like I want to go home and record some stuff, but it was much easier for me to sit there and click in some drum parts, which I started enjoying more than playing the guitar, and then thought, actually, I could probably try about with something else more than just drum sounds and try getting into crazy sounds and other production stuff. So yeah, it all went downhill from there.
Downhill.
Exactly, all this, technically challenging music, me playing guitar, all these crazy techniques, and now just on to making angry white noise music.
At that point, did you ever imagine that you'd be where you are right now?
Absolutely not. Like, no, I was very against like drum and bass and everything. Like, I was a proper metalhead back then. I was like, oh, if it hasn't got any real instruments in, then it's not real music.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that mentality. But yeah, no, I definitely didn't see myself where I am now. Not that I see myself as like some sort of god or omniscient being or anything, but like,
Sure, I understand that.
no. It's I'm still just a guy out in a village in the UK that makes angry music, and I don't really see myself anything other than that. Really, it's just this is still a hobby for me.
Well, that's a good thing for us because out of your hobby, we get to listen to some really nice stuff.
No, that's always good. It's always really good to hear when people actually enjoy and listen to my music. Like people know me as White Eyes, which is still just so unreal to me. It's really good.
And the funny story behind your name, that I mean, the first time I heard it, I was like, sure, that should have been a sad story, but it's not.
It was, yeah, it was. It was,
I mean,
it was
it's
a
a
weird
sad
one. Like,
story, yeah, but the way you used it.
it was really strange. Like, I think I was bullied quite a lot back in school, and had so many nicknames. Because I had really long hair as well, so that was always a piss taking point. But White Eyes actually sort of semi-liked. I'm like, oh, it's all right. That's good. Stick with that. It stuck for about 2 weeks, and they started going on to all other slews of horrible nicknames. But
You remember anything specifically?
oh, I can't remember any of them. I can't remember anything else specifically.
Okay. So you got bullied for white eyes as well? I mean, the bullies called you white eyes?
No. It was just I was still in my metal days back then.
Ah, okay.
White Eyes wasn't a thing until I was about 22 or something. So it was way well out of school after that. So yeah.
So, okay, the one thing that's on my head right now is the remix competition.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
first thing, where did that idea come from? And have you done anything like this before?
I did do a remix competition with Plagueborn when I was releasing the Monolith EP.
Mhm.
And I think we had like a first, second, and third place for that. But as you've covered in quite a few of your interviews, there was the fall of Plagueborn and all that other stuff
Yeah.
happened. I think that was towards the end of, or in the middle of Plagueborn anyway, but it didn't really see the light of day that much. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed the whole remix competition thing with that. And I just thought, I've progressed a lot more as a person and an artist since then. So I thought, yeah, it's about time that people have the chance to play about with my music if they're really that into it. So yeah, just thought, why not? Let's go for it.
Yeah. So, would you like to mention how people can join and when's the date for submissions and all that?
Absolutely. So I think it's closing end of June. It's either Abhor or Slaughter. People can remix. There's a Facebook group, or you can look at Hydraulic Damnations or Community Mix Productions videos up on there. They've got me doing a little introduction and stuff. But yeah, all the stems are up on Mediafire or Dropbox. And yeah, go wild. I'm looking forward to hearing some crazy stuff. But like I said in the notes, try to keep it heavy. Like, that was the thing with the Plagueborn thing. When I was still in my infancy back then, we had some very experimental remixes, shall I say.
Experimental, I mean, bad way or a good way?
Oh, experimental is usually kind of like usually means bad, but it's a nice way of saying.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely some interesting stuff on there. So try to keep it heavy is my only tip. But other than that, yeah, be as creative as you want.
Mhm. In this competition, there will be sixth place for the remixes. Apart from that, how many other tracks are you planning to have from your own?
So on the album, there's going to be 24 or 25 tracks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been an uphill battle. And I think for the remix EP, there's probably going to be a VIP on there. There's might be another track or two. So I think it's probably going to be around 8 to 10 tracks on the remix EP, which is due out in September. But yeah, the album is going to be an absolute beast with the amount of tracks on there.
How many are you done with already?
I think, let me check my spreadsheet. I think I'm at 85%. I'm waiting on one set of stems to come in fresh. I'm waiting on somebody else to finish up with some stems, and I'm waiting for one guy to be free. So I think it's
Ooh.
just 3 tracks left at the moment.
Okay, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
actually good progress.
It is. Considering that I started this properly back in like October, it's definitely one of the fastest projects I put together, because like Cataclysm took like 2 years, but that was just me learning how to mix and master properly. But yeah.
So, on an average, how long does it take for you to finish one track?
It really does vary. Like, I've knocked out some tracks in like 2 days. I've
We are not
taken a
considering
month or
decimation.
2. Yeah. Like Decimation was really just, I sat down, I was like, yeah, okay, that'll do. Chuggy sounds, loop that for a bit.
Let's just do this and blow people's mind. I think I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I really don't understand why Decimation gets so much love. It's one of those tracks that just went
It's
viral.
just
and I thought,
good.
like,
It's
things.
good. I can't say anything
Oh,
else.
okay.
It's still one of my favorites. I mean, one thing about Decimation is it doesn't get old for some reason, you know?
No, I know what you mean, because I think, like I said in that interview with Daroth the other day, it was, yeah, it's one of my older tracks, but the mix down definitely still holds up. I think that's the thing with some of my older tracks of just like, it's good ideas, but god damn, it hurts my ears. Like, yeah,
Yeah. And you know the funny thing would be, I think he already did 2 VIPs on Legion, right?
yeah.
Add in one more, I think that would be funny.
I think it's there. It's going to be one of those projects I always go back to because it's one of those sounds that I've just got saved. Like I always knock it into a project and
Mhm.
reshape it in some way. So there's always the Legion sound, but yeah, no, I'll need to go back and make a Legion VIP remix 2021 or something else. I don't know. We'll see.
Somebody will require a complete dictionary of to understand what exactly is going on with the title.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, other than the remix competition, is there anything else you're working on, or do you have anything else planned for the rest of the year?
Not really. I'm planning on probably taking a little bit of a back seat for the rest of the year. Because like I think 2020 was a really bad year for me just trying to get stuff done musically. Obviously lockdown for pretty much everybody on the planet has really affected like their creative outlet. But I think I only got 3-4 tracks done last year. So I'm hoping that 25 on the album and another 8 to 10 on an EP will whet people's appetite for White Eyes for a year.
Yeah, it'll balance it out. 25, 24. Wow, that actually is a lot.
It really is. It really is. Like because I think back in October I started planning it and thinking, yeah, it'll only be 10 or 12 tracks or so.
Hmm. Then how did it become like 20 plus?
Well, I thought like some of my best work has been collaborations with other people. Because when it gets to that point, like Death Step, there's there's only so many things you can do. Like 100, yeah, 140 BPM, the same kick pattern, same drum pattern.
Change it. Who's giving you the rules? Nobody's here with a stick, you know. Change it if you want to.
No, I switch up the tempo and I do crazy time signatures, but it either really is like a horrible Reese sounding bass, there's a machine gun sounding bass, or there's growls and stuff. And those are like the three fundamental sounds, and there's only so many variations you can do on that.
Mhm.
So it's always good to kind of reach out to other people. So I think around February or earlier than that, like I sent out a shit ton of messages just saying, I really like your work. Do you want to, I've got an album upcoming. Do you want to work with me with it? And pretty much 95% of people got back to me straight away and just said, yeah, would love to. So which is really, really good, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You underestimate yourself, you know.
I reached out to some bigger people as well. I was like thinking, oh, they're probably not going to reply. People like Automatic and everything else. Like, but yeah, no, they got back to me really quick and just said, yeah, that's all good.
So how many collaborations are there on this one?
There are, I think there's 8 originals. So let me count. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 on my spreadsheet. And the rest of it is all me.
Okay, that's nice. I'm
Yeah,
very excited
yeah.
for this one then.
I'm really happy with some of these of how some of these have turned out. Like some of them are just like really big people that you'd know of in the death step scene. Some of them are smaller names that are just starting out, and I've been keeping my eye on them. I thought, yeah, you guys are really good.
Are you keeping them hush hush, or are you allowed to speak about the names?
Let me see.
Up to you. No pressure.
No, I'll keep it. I'll keep it a secret for now. I will. I'll keep it locked until we're ready to drop some news.
Okay, so I think it'll be after the remix competition ends, right? So the entire album that comes out.
Yes, hopefully. Those 3 collabs permitting. If not, then I'll probably just do another original just to make up the numbers. But yeah, just those 3 tracks I'm waiting on.
Okay, so that would be July,
So
I
yeah,
think.
hopefully should be July, maybe August, maybe.
Good, in time for my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, exactly. But I'd like to get it done by then.
Yeah. So I had something. I was thinking about something. I totally forgot the question.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh yeah. So what do you think about what's happening in the scene right now? And do you like where the things are going? Not in the sense that I mean, I don't want you to say that you're a god or whatever, and speak on it from the viewpoint of somebody who's higher up. No, not like that. But in general, where do you think it's all going?
I think it's headed in a really good direction right now. We've got so many younger producers that have just started up and are putting out stuff that's really, really good quality. And the fact that we've got a sub genre for Minotauri already, or sorry, Minotauri, just to piss off Marv.
You're talking about Dungeon Minotauri, Dungeon Minotauri.
Yeah, yeah. Like the fact that we've come that far and there's a subgenre of a subgenre of an already pretty niche type of music is
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's really good.
There is this one group of people who would not consider Minotauri as Death Step's subgenre. So
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm funny about it because again, going back to my metal background, I was really like into progressive, technical, like gent stuff. But if you were to go onto any forums back then to kind of like advertise your music, you'd say, "Oh, I've put my latest, gent clip up, take a listen," and you'd have like four angry nerds come on within minutes, just say, "Oh, this is technical death metal," or "This is, progressive so and so metal." And like, I've always kind of like been against genres up to a degree.
yeah. I mean, it's difficult to define the boundaries.
Exactly. And I think when you do define those boundaries, you kind of like you get so stuck into, oh no, I've done this sound, that means it isn't Minotauri anymore. So like you need to come up with your own subgenre for it. And it's just it's restrictive in a way, but it's also good to kind of like, let fans find out about a new type of music and stuff. But yeah, it has its weaknesses and its strengths, definitely.
Yeah, that's been one of my struggles because I wanted to study about things, metal is specific, because I have
Yeah.
zero idea about metal. I did not grow up with any of that. The furthest I went from my music that I listened to without, my conscious choice was Linkin Park. That was the furthest I went from all of that. So you understand my level.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. No, luckily I kind of like grew up in a really diverse household of music and stuff. Like my parents were both very into kind of like prog stuff, so like I grew up listening to Kiss, Guns N' Roses, Led Zeppelin, all the classics like that. And then yeah, it sort of new metal turned up when I was still in my very early teens, like Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park and stuff. And
Mhm.
then oh wow, I can get heavier, go into Arch Enemy, and then I got even heavier, like black metal face paint type bands and stuff, and grew out of that quickly. But yeah, no, I've been around many different types of music, and I'm always grateful for it. But yeah,
Are there any good metal bands right now who are like not old from the 90s or 80s, like who are playing right now?
some of my favorites probably have to be sticking with just progressive stuff. So like Periphery, I listen to a ton of. Sixth, like Sikth, they're one of my favorites, and I think they're working on little projects in the background. Yeah, no, it's I'd struggle to name many more than that, to be honest.
I just wanted to know because speaking with people, it feels like everybody listens to stuff which is from, dead musicians.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
And personally, I like listening to stuff from people who are actually alive now and, making stuff now.
No, absolutely. Like a lot of my friends, like one friend in particular, just listens to very, very old music. So like he's really into Zappa and like Frank Zappa, the Beatles, everything else.
Mm.
And I don't know, yeah, like obviously you've got to admire the classics, but yeah, I'm always a fan of live music and stuff. So it's always nice to go out and think, yeah, I can go out and see this person at a concert or a gig or something.
Yeah,
It's kind of sad to think like, oh, you're really into this musician, but you'll never get that chance to see them. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
true, true.
Yeah.
That's one good thing about this community. I mean, everybody's just here.
The one good thing about Death Step is that everybody's still alive. It's always good.
Most people, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Discord message away. So, That's all the questions I had mostly because I stalk you a lot. I I don't know what else to ask.
It's always really good to chat to you. Like, yeah, no, it's definitely weird. I do feel very humbled by everybody's response to things lately. I think, everybody's been isolated over the past year, this whole lockdown situation. So it really feels like, I don't know, like I'm almost having the chance to catch up with everybody else that have been playing shows and getting to DJ everywhere, and nobody can do that anymore. So it feels like I've had more of an opportunity to spread my wings and kind of, yeah, sit behind a keyboard and carry on doing what I do best, making angry music.
And not just sit in a dark room and, press
Yeah,
keys.
exactly. Exactly. I'm in my element then. But yeah, no. It's good. Hopefully, you'll get the album out of me by July, because I'm also getting married in July, so it'd be nice to get both of those things out of the way. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, we were meant to get married last year, but obviously lockdown.
Which is not changing anytime soon. Oh, is there a lockdown still?
We're about, well, we'll see in the UK. I think as of Monday, so Monday the 17th of May, things are opening up a bit more. We're starting to have a bit more signs of the Indian variant in the UK at the moment, so that's a bit of a worry for some folks. So yeah, June 21st, hopefully things will get back to normal, but we're not sure now because there was a announcement by the Prime Minister the other night, so we'll see. We shall see.
Either way, all the best. And congratulations again.
No, thank you. Like, how is it over there for you at the moment? Are you guys affected much, or?
Yeah, I mean, the place I'm living in, it's not as badly affected as the other places, but yeah, things are spreading and all kinds of variants are showing up. It's just nightmare after nightmare if you open the news.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. No, as long as you and your family are safe, yeah, just that's good. That's good.
It has not changed anything in my life specifically because I'm always this kind of person who hated going out on the weekends. I had to always, give excuses to my friends that I don't want to go out for this reason and that reason and that reason. So they, I don't have to do that anymore, which is, I don't know, it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just me.
No, I totally agree. Like, I've come into my element while working at home. So no, it's good. It'd be nice to get out of the house every now and again, and I still do occasionally. But yeah, but very, very similar to you. I've got a very close knit group of friends. We rarely go out to the pub or anything. So yeah, no, it's good. Obviously, it'd be nice for it to all be over soon, but we'll see. We'll see. This may be the new normal.
Who knows? Yeah. I guess we all found our place in this somehow.
Yeah, no, we have. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. We'll get there.
Yeah. So, yeah. So the producers who are starting right now, if you had to
Yeah.
give them one suggestion or anything to, make their music better or anything like that, what would you say?
I would say just carry on practicing, and be positive. Like, find the things that you like about your music, because I think that's where I went wrong. Just like when I was doing the first album of Cataclysm, like I got into such a self-destructive cycle of just like finishing up a track, thinking, yeah, that's really good, coming back to it the next day, thinking this sounds like absolute shit. And I'm sure that's so common of many other producers as well. But yeah, just analyze your music, like hyper analyze your music. Like, I'm still doing it with my album at the moment. Like, evenings to weekends are just for writing it, and whenever I'm at work, like I go out for a puff on my vape or anything, or just like doing just having 5 minutes downtime, I'll just go stick on a track and listen to it, back to it, and think, oh, that kick's a little bit too loud, let's bring that down. But like, the bass sounds really good, this sounds really good, and that sounds really good. And just talk to other producers as well. Like, by all means, feel free to reach out to me if anybody else is like thinking about it, but just too intimidated or for whatever reason, just please just give me a shout. I always love it when people come to me to ask, like, oh, can you listen to this? I'm like, absolutely. I probably spend a bit too much time like writing up you could probably do with a bit more in this range, you could take out this thing, you could add some more layers in here. But no, I feel honored when just complete randomers come up to me and just ask, oh, can you listen to this track? I'm like, absolutely, just yeah. give me half an hour or so, I'll
I
come
got
back
you.
with an essay about how you can change it. um,
That's really nice of you. I mean, not a lot of people do that. And I think that's one of the major things that is lacking in this scene is there are just too many people producing stuff and not enough people giving feedback in a productive way, I think.
Absolutely. I think again, kind of like the whole. I think you've probably discovered during your book, like we all sound like quite scary people, to be honest, because we're making this terrifying sound of music. But
It does. And if you get on Discord, oh my god, the edginess. It's like, should I even approach this person?
no, when you start chatting to us, like as long as you come across the right way, like if you are going to drop me a message about your music, just introduce yourself first, have a little chat. Like think about it as in like going up to a date, like trying to date somebody. Like you don't just say, here's my dick, give it a good suck. Just, buy them a drink first, have a chat to them, like introduce yourself rather than just dropping your fucking SoundCloud link straight away and saying, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the exact equivalent of saying, dude, feedback, or dude, collab, please.
if I had £1 for every time I had that type of message, I would have. But yeah, no, definitely. That's what I would say to beginning producers. Just if you are going to ask for feedback, ask nicely, take your time with it,
Mhm.
and try to don't blow up if I say that your track is a little bit crap. I try to do that in the nicest possible way. If I do get a real stinker of a track come up, I just say, I really like the drums, but everything else needs some work. Like, yeah,
From the sound of it, it looks like you don't give critical feedback in its, honest form.
I try to as much as I can, like, because I definitely know the feeling of reaching out to a big producer sometimes and them just having them absolutely destroy your work. Like, it hurts. It really does. Something that you've worked on so hard and like one of your idols basically just says, oh no.
It's shit.
Yeah. And it really does destroy you and you just think, I don't want to work on music again. Like this has really hit me. I always try to keep that in mind of just like be empathetic with them. Like imagine back 10 years when you were doing this and you were reaching out to whoever to go ask for some feedback. Like think about it. Like these people are reaching out to you for a reason because they like your music and they want some feedback on it. So obviously be honest with them, but like, also kind of,
Don't be a dick about it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not a lot of people do that. I don't know why, but I personally have a very hard time figuring out what to say when it comes to, bad things. So I'll just pick out the good ones and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. And I guess the rest you can figure out.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's always good to start off with a positive and say, I really liked X and Y. However, that and that could use some work. Like, never say that anything is bad, really. Like, it could just do with improving. But yeah, no, I think that's probably one of the only things that I'm planning after the album. Like, I am planning on, one-to-one lessons because back when I was doing the first album, I did have a couple of lessons with Mark 10 Graphs. And that was great, really. I really learned so much from him. So I am thinking about like starting up some one-to-one tutoring. So if anybody is interested in that, by all means hit me up. I'm free. I've done a couple of sessions now with a couple of folks, but I'd like to make it into more of a regular thing.
That's really nice.
Yeah, no. I'm never going to be one to go out and play shows or anything because, like I said, I'm in the UK. There's not really a scene for it here. Obviously, the current situations means that I'm not going to be traveling anywhere soon. So, like, I think this is probably the one of the ways that I can give back to people other than just putting out music. So, yeah, it'll probably be more of a regular thing soon.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing that I have on my list is
Yeah.
any message to the community in general?
Yeah, it's just honestly, I feel so humbled every day. I really feel like I've come a long way, but it's just folks that listen to my music that are probably going to be listening to this interview. Thank you all so much. Like, it's yeah, no, this has become my life outside of work, really.
Still a hobby.
So yeah, no. I've got nothing but love for the whole Death Step Minatory community. You guys are awesome. Just carry on doing what you're doing. I know there's going to be some rising stars soon. Yeah.
Ooh, anybody on your radar?
Um, let's see. So
It might give them some boost.
there's so many people. I've been on SoundCloud quite regularly, so if you've had a heart or a follow from me, that means I'm keeping my eye on you. But one of the guys, which is one of the first of your interviews on your channel, Scarred, is he's up there. He is going to be very big soon. He's got incredible sound design, everything else. One of the collabs for the album, actually.
Yeah, he mentioned.
Yeah, Senego as well is really cool. Scrush, got to mention my man Scrush. Death Wave as well, one of the smaller producers off the album. He's really going to go far. And yeah, no, basically, I'm keeping my eye on the whole community as much as I can. Like whatever I come across, I'll always give it a good listen to. But yeah, those are some names I'd like to shout out at the moment.
All right. So yeah, any last words?
Not really. Keep it locked, keep it heavy, smash that like button, etc., etc. No, thank you, and thank you, Shushma, for all the work you've been doing in the community. It's still unreal the fact that I've been in an actual book that is a real thing and is sat on top of my monitors.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for doing. It's really good to see somebody actually kind of taking this whole death step thing seriously and reaching out to weirdos like me. So no, thank you for all the work you're doing. It's really incredible, and I'm sure that you'll go very far as well.
It's been a passion project, and I'm absolutely enjoying myself. So I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon.
No, awesome. Carry on doing what you're doing. It's awesome.
All right. Thank you so much for being here again, and I'll see you again.
Yep. Chat to you soon.
Bye.
Right. See ya.